Okay, so a man named John Barron called into C-SPAN to trash the Supreme Court over tariff ruling, but everybody thinks that it's Donald Trump in disguise. This is my first time hearing this, so let's listen to it and see if it sounds like Trump.
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you've ever had in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, who's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Democratic caller. John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you've ever had in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope. And
He's
you
a
have
dope.
Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, who's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Hey, dog, I'm crying laughing at this because this is the type of stuff Trump be saying. So, a little background. John Barron is the very pseudonym Donald Trump famously used in the 1980s and 90s to pose as his own publicist.
The real amazing story of Donald Trump's old spokesman, as the Washington Post headline writes, may be that it's been such an open secret for so long it's hard to believe that anyone is still questioning it.
What's your name again? John Miller. And you work with Narrator? Yes, that's correct.
It was back in the 1980s, and when the flashy New York real estate mogul needed to get a bit of news out, the newspaper reports it was common knowledge among New York reporters that Trump just assumed a different name and handled the media calls himself. Like this call from reporter Sue Carswell at People magazine concerning Trump's breakup with girlfriend Marla Maples.
What kind of comment is coming from either your agency or from Donald's side? Well, it's just that he really decided that he wasn't, he didn't want to make the commitment. He didn't want to make a commitment. He really thought it was too soon. He's coming out of a marriage that, and he's starting to do tremendously well financially. And he just thought it was too soon to make any commitment to anybody. So what is going to happen when she being asked to leave, or she's going to be allowed to stay? Well, he treats everybody well, and you don't know him, but he's a. No, I have met him. Have you met him? Yeah. He's a good guy, and he's not going to hurt anybody. He treated his wife well, and he will treat Marla well. And he's somebody that has a lot of options, and frankly, he gets called by everybody. He gets called by everybody in the book in terms of women.
If that John Miller sounds like Trump, it's because audio forensic expert Tom Owen says, in his opinion, it is.
I can conclude with a fair degree of scientific certainty that it is Donald Trump's voice.
This afternoon, Owens compared the John Miller on that phone call with People magazine to the real Donald Trump interviewed on CNN's Larry King Live in the 1990s. Due to the quality of the old recordings, he couldn't use his biometric analysis that he says would be absolutely certain, but based on pitch, tone, cadence, and his expertise, John Miller and Donald Trump are one and the same.
Yes, it's my opinion that it is Donald Trump's voice.
Reportedly, Trump even tacitly admitted under oath to using one of his false PR names in a 1990 court testimony when he said, "I believe on occasion I used that name."
Thank you, everybody.
Trump was confronted with the taped phone call and the Washington Post story on Friday's Today Show.
No, I don't think it. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time, and it doesn't sound like my voice at all. I have many, many people that are trying to imitate my voice, and you can imagine that. And this sounds like one of the scams, one of the many scams. Doesn't sound like me.
The stuff that he's saying, he's like, and Jack's going to agree with me, and calling the dude a dope, and then said Chuck Schumer can't cook a cheeseburger is hilarious, right? Okay, so me personally, I don't think Donald Trump is that dumb. Well, I kind of do think he's that dumb, but I don't think that. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think that was Donald Trump. I think that was Frank Caliendo. Or whoever, it might have been Godfrey, or who might have even been Jay Farrow. It was one of them niggas that be doing impressions. Shit, it might have been me calling in doing the impression. It sounded like somebody doing an impression of Donald Trump and just going on there saying all types of funny stuff because it sounded like him, but it don't sound like him. I think Donald Trump is too narcissistic to call into a show pretending to be somebody else instead of speaking as himself for himself. And I don't use narcissistic in the social media buzzword throw around term. I mean it as actually the actual definition that you think very insanely, incredibly highly of yourself, that the world revolves around you. Like, that's what I mean by narcissistic. And that's what I think about this. But this is hilarious to me because if it is Donald Trump, it reminds me of just a few months ago when Clarissa Shields called into that one show pretending to be somebody else, defending her, and then she turned around and went from saying she, referring to Clarissa, to I. Remember this clip?
Yeah, you on these live talking about Clarissa Shields?
Yeah. Mute your TV for me. Go ahead. I saw I missed your call.
It's muted.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I'm sitting up here listening to this live, and I see so much misinformation.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead. I want to hear you.
Y'all lying, saying that this woman owes tax money. Why are y'all lying, saying that her image is ruined?
Well, hold on. Correct that then, because there's a lady who put out some tax records today on her site, and we were all like, where'd that come from? Like Clarissa Shields owes money based on the document she provided. So clear that up for us, because I'm glad.
Y'all believe anything bad about Clarissa Shields. Nobody's doing it. They're running behind Tasha K and Lakeisha Dean believe in anything bad said about Clarissa Shields when her life has been documented since she was 15 years old.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm going to let you talk because I'm not rude. And I'm not saying you're being rude. Now, I don't watch Tasha K. I don't even know who the other person is. But the ladies in the chat, they definitely know who they are. So just to let you know. So, but go ahead. I want to hear from you because I'm glad somebody who has a different opinion is calling in. But so you saying the tax stuff isn't true?
It's not about a different opinion. It's about facts. You guys aren't putting out any facts. You guys are lying. You're lying on her name 24/7.
Okay.
24/7.
Give the facts.
She doesn't owe any money in taxes.
So the person who came out, the person who did that video, and
very, very false. I know Clarissa myself, so therefore, no, it's not true. Secondly, you are talking about that her image is destroyed. How are you guys on this live? The girl you had just before the saying that, oh, she only made $8 million. Like $8 million is not a lot of money. And she has the most lucrative boxing deal in women's boxing. When do we start doing this stuff?
Okay, keep going. So you don't think her image has been destroyed because of the deal?
It's not about she has not done anything for her image to be destroyed. She is a female boxer. What else is she supposed to do?
But what does that mean?
I would love to hear this.
No.
She is a female boxer.
Okay.
She is the best in the world at what she does. She's undefeated. She's never been in jail. She doesn't have anything on her record that's bad. How are you guys painting this girl out to be a bad person and be a bad woman? Please explain that to me.
I was a fan of Clarissa. I've done videos on Clarissa. You go back on my channel saying she should be a gazillionaire. This is effed up. I don't see why this girl doesn't have gazillions of dollars with everything that she's accomplished. Now, in the last 2 months, that's where it's like I start doing these lives and let people call in and speak. But now you don't follow my channel, or you would have known that. But it's understandable because I just started doing these lives, so you probably don't even know who I was. But I spoke highly of Clarissa.
I actually got hit to these lives because you're saying that my tickets aren't selling for the fight, and then you're saying that taxes, and then you're making up all this stuff about my image, and literally in the gym, training, running, getting ready for the fight, taking care of the family, and then you just keep on coming up with more and more lies, and then you're letting people come on your channel and spew more lies and don't even speak the truth. You don't. None of y'all have spoke the truth. Y'all get on here lying about me every single day.
Now, I know what y'all thinking, but there's obviously a perfectly logical explanation for all of this. Clarissa obviously has a twin sister who sounds just like her. And when that phone call first started, that wasn't Clarissa, that was her twin sister, Clarissa Shields. And the whole time, Clarissa was upstairs with Pat. She was upstairs with Pat, and then she came downstairs to pick up the phone. Duh. And the crazy thing is, after that clip had went viral, I remember somebody interviewed her and they said, hey, Clarissa, the world wants to know, they're saying that this caller called into this show to defend you, and it sounded like you. People are thinking that you called in pretending to be somebody else. And Clarissa's response was, and so what if I did? Right? Like, I like that shit. That's the type of shit I like. So if they ask Donald Trump this, hopefully he has the same response. I honestly don't think it's Donald Trump, but it would be hilarious. Either way, it's funny, but it would be hilarious if it actually was him to call up there and do. It sounds like Donald Trump doing a bad impression of Donald Trump. But whoever's actually calling doing a very good impression of Donald Trump, doing a bad impression of himself. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section.
If I had a machine that could travel through time, I would go back some years with a Mac and a 9, 2 Uzis with a few grenades in my hand, 8Ks, HKs, more Ks than the Klan. That's racist. Fuck a nigga gonna do against me with a musket. I'm talking about them days they would stone you in public. You probably go back in time to meet Jesus Christ. I'd ask Jesus for help to steal Judas Ice. Amen.
You got music, you got a business, you got a product or service, but you're not making enough money off of it because you don't have enough exposure. DM or email me right now to get promoted on my platforms. I have 850,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 460,000 followers on Instagram. I have the following that you want to get seen in front of. I was able to increase the sales of this Amazon book off of a YouTube sponsorship with just 30,000 views. And I was able to give this artist 15,000 views with the Instagram repost in less than 24 hours. So DM or email me at bookingcranklucas@gmail.com right now to get more exposure and more money for your business.